Hey guys, it's Kathy, and I'm back with another process video doing a little bit of nighttime scrapping. I decided to work on a layout, so I decided to film it and just see how it turned out. So first things first, I'm using a cut file, and so it's a cut file from Kim Watson from Hip Kit Club, and what I actually did was took it into a program that I own called Adobe Illustrator, and I retraced it and made the lines thinner so you can see me fiddling around. I just wanted to get my camera better situated, so sorry about that. Anyway, so I took it in and retraced the lines so that they were thinner, so that I could back it with paper easier, because when I blew it up in my Silhouette Studio software, the lines were really thick and I wanted them thinner. So I just did that. So it is essentially her cut file. I just retraced it and then blew it up myself. Anyway, I backed it in the afternoon while my son was sleeping, and used that really awesome exclusive paper from last month that was all those multicolored kind of diamonds. And then I used some other papers that I had kicking around that I really liked, just to kind of make this really fun mosaic of bright colors. That was my whole plan. So I did that in the afternoon because, well, first, it took a really long time. Like, my son was napping for like 2 hours, and it pretty much took that whole time to back that. Some of it was because I was just fiddling around with other stuff. But yeah, so I did that off camera, obviously. But I mean, most people know the concept of backing cut files. So I propped it up with a bit of foam and took this piece of exclusive paper from this month's kit, so the April kit, with that thin royal blue stripe, which I actually didn't think I'd ever use because I don't really like royal blue all that much, like that primary color. But even before I finished, when this idea came to me to use this mosaic ampersand, I immediately thought of backing it on top of this paper. I didn't actually have like a picture in mind, just this idea that I wanted to do this really bright color one. I haven't done this before. I usually use like muted tones, retro tones, that kind of stuff, or bright spring colors. But this kind of really bold color is not something I normally do. So this is really branching out for me. So you guys are like watching me jump out of my comfort zone. So hopefully I'll jump out of my comfort zone more, because I do like this. I think I was saying bye because I went to go find something. Um, yeah, I'm trying to prop up the photo with a little bit of foam. I go off here and grab a whole bunch of ephemera here in a minute. I didn't know what I wanted to do as far as embellishing this. This was about as far as my idea had gone, because I had this idea like late at night before I went to bed. It's suddenly there. See, now they're all there. um, I'm using a bunch of ephemera from a basic gray ephemera pack that I think we got not last month, but the month before. So February, maybe. And it had a lot of DIY and sewing and ephemera like that. And I didn't really care about what it said. I was just using it for the colors for the most part. So I do cover up a whole bunch of it anyway. But yeah, I didn't really have any ideas as to what I was going to do design wise. I didn't want to do too much. I wish I had some flowers or something. That would have been cool, but I didn't. So I keep saying but yeah. So I just kind of decided I wanted to use these kind of simple shapes and I don't know, just make something a little different. It's a picture of my son and my daughter, so this would have been when she was quite young, and the color, it was taken like in the daytime, but they were on the floor, so there wasn't a lot of light going through. So they were wearing different colors and things like that. So I just took it into Photoshop and brightened it up and did a lot of contrast and turned it black and white. Just because there's so much color going on in that ampersand that we don't need even more colors going on. And I was glad because I got to use some of my scraps up, and I'm using papers that I never thought I would actually, wasn't really sure I would actually use because it's just not my normal style. Um, but I'm having a lot of fun kind of trying new stuff for you guys. I'm not always going to use cut files. I just, you know, late night having a vision, I guess, that I gotta go make this. And so this is my first time scrapbooking at night and filming it. So I do apologize. The lighting's kind of going crazy. What it is I'm watching videos, and so when the videos on my computer kind of switch brightness, it's affecting it. So that's why it keeps going brighter in the corner and darker in the corner. I wanted to bring in some of those rubber things, and now that I'm like watching it, I totally could have done that and that would have worked. I'm surprised I didn't. I don't think I use that one though. I know I do use that pink one. The stickiness didn't stay on it, and I know I have to leave for a while and go try to find my glue, and I don't end up finding it, and I found it right after I finished filming. It was underneath my swivel chair. That was a good place for it. I was glad it was hiding under there. I keep messing around with those birds because they're cute and I like them, but I do not end up using it. I don't really use a lot of organic shapes in this layout, maybe because it's so bold. So I just use a lot of phrases and ephemera like that, like a lot of speech bubbles and that kind of thing. Um, and lots of bright pinks, which is not normally something I would do. Lots of bright blues and reds. I don't normally use a lot of reds. So yeah, this was kind of fun to try this. I know a lot of us who own silhouettes do a lot of backing our cut files, but we cut our cut files in white. So if you haven't tried cutting one in like black or a different color, give it a try. Like it's so bold looking, and like even like in person, this layout is quite striking. How bright it is. So yeah, like totally give it a try, guys. I yeah. uh, I don't end up putting it. Someone actually mentioned in a different video that they were saying, "Oh, I like how you do uh, an embellishment cluster on the left, on the bottom, and then an embellishment cluster on the top right, and that maybe that's because you're left-handed." And I never really thought about that, but when I go back and look at all my layouts, I totally do that. I have a lot where there's the bottom left has a cluster, and the top right has a cluster. So I don't know, maybe that is something that I do, being left-handed and all, that maybe other people don't do, because I do notice a lot of other people do them opposite, that they do top right and bottom left. Fiddling with my camera again. It was bugging me. I was going to use all those acetate Pinkfresh Studio ones that you see over on the right-hand side. And I was going to spell something out all along the side. And I decided not to use it, so I'm going to use those again sometime. I'm trying to come up with some new ideas for interesting layouts to kind of bring to you guys. I mean, some stuff will kind of look the same, or might be kind of similar, but in this instance, trying something new to see if you guys want to kind of join me on my die cutting adventures, my scrappy adventures. I've totally run out of stuff to say, and there's still so much more. I'll explain a little bit more about the die cut that I did I used a program called Adobe Illustrator, which most people are probably not familiar with unless you're a designer or someone who maybe does vectoring. And it's a vectoring program. I do all my digital art that way. And if you're wondering what I do for digital art, I don't have like links listed, but honestly, if you Google the word Flash Parade, like Flash, like FLASH, and then Parade, PARADE, all one word together, and look for images, there'll be a whole bunch of images that are going to come up of girls and different things. Some of them are kind of pinups, some are girls with giant snails on their backs or octopuses on their heads or different things like that, because I do a lot of digital art. I used to, and I haven't done any lately. And I'm going to be getting back into it once I can get my scanner up and running now that I got my new computer back in February. I think it was in February. Yeah. I got it mainly so I could start doing art and stuff again, and so that I could give a try to doing these videos. But yeah, so I do vectoring because I'm not very good at coloring in Photoshop. And vectoring is basically where you make a shape, but the shape can be shrunk down or blown up to huge proportions without it becoming pixelated. So basically, I took the PNG file into Adobe Illustrator that Kim Watson had made, and I traced it with my vectoring program, and so that way I was able to save that out as vector. So I also use it when I want to make my own cut files too. I use Adobe Illustrator, so it's really great because I get to make my own cut files, which is awesome. I'm struggling here with I wanted to write friends indeed. I keep thinking of that song, a friend with weed is a friend indeed, or something like that. I can't remember. A friend, I don't know. A friend in need is a friend indeed, or people might know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna sing it now. My husband will tell me what it was. And it doesn't fit. So I saw this little phrase that says, I love right now. I just thought that was so perfect. My hair is like crazy. I took a shower but didn't straighten my hair out, so it's really crazy. I look like Carrot Top right now. But how crazy it is. But yeah, you'll notice between the time I'm finished this and the time and the last like pictures, that there is some stuff added in. I took some enamel hearts that were from Amy Tangerine that I got in a kit a while ago, and the colors matched really well. So I just added those in to have like a little bit more fun going on, a little bit more stuff, bringing a little bit more over to the title. But for the most part, I just kind of fiddled around. Ones like this do tend to challenge me, where I'm just using a bunch of ephemera, especially like things like speech bubbles or things like that. I decide I'm going to put the journaling in that part of that ampersand. Anyway, my video is just about done here. So, awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Had an awesome night. See you in the next video. Bye.